So today, lads, we're going to be talking about the Sophie Cunningham situation. We're going to be talking about what she said after the game. And realistically, I was going to talk about this last night, but I was just dead. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to talk about it. And a lot of people are talking about this point. We're circling everyone's schedule. No one likes us. Everyone in our locker room. Like, there's one really concerning thing that Sophie Cunningham said. So we're going to listen through the whole thing and I'm going to give my opinion on it. And I don't know exactly where this footage came from. But,
on and stay together during this rough patch.
Yeah. I think so far this season we've had a lot of distractions, you can call it, some injuries. Don't know who's playing. And so there's just a lot of distractions, but I think that's really good for us. Let's go through the adversity early. Let's learn from it. Good news is we're not going to peak too early. So, I mean, that's a positive.
I mean, I guess she's not wrong with that one.
But I think it's not an excuse. Everyone's playing a back-to-back. Everyone has this kind of rough schedule. For us, we get another opportunity tomorrow, and we got to capitalize on it. Dallas is a team that's hungry for a win. And we talk about this. We are circled on everybody's schedule. No one likes us, right? So everyone in our locker room, that's the only type of people that we have that we can lean on. And we got to be better in that area. We have got to stay disciplined. We have to stay focused. We need to get consistent, and we got to lean on each other. And I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands, but, as one of the leaders on the team, I got to do a better job of grouping people, right? In the fourth. It's going to kill us, right? Like they scored 35 points, I think you guys said. That just cannot happen. Can't happen.
But what I'm really concerned about is this right here. This point here.
Discipline. We have to stay focused. We need to get consistent, and we got to lean on each other. And I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands, but
that's not good. That's not good to hear. She's basically as good as said, we need to get, we just need to get better at being teammates. Realistically, I hate saying this, but this does not sound like it's a team. We have our own islands, and I understand on every single team. I absolutely understand on every single team that team players and teammates are going to be different. People are going to get on with better with some people than others. But at the end of the day, if it's a bad enough thing that one of your players is coming out and saying it needs to change, clearly it's not a good thing. Clearly it is having some effect. How much of an effect, we don't know. We're not in the locker room. But they never said that last year. It was never said, she's not questioning the locker room. Not saying there's locker room issues, because there's a big difference between a locker room not being super close and there not being issues. And everything about the Fever last year was protect the locker room, protect the locker room, protect the locker room. And it doesn't sound like the locker room's in a good spot. Even last year, even when they were losing games, it seemed like the locker room was in a good spot. Something clearly has happened. And let's be real. I don't think it's Sophie Cunningham butting heads with the players that were already there. I doubt that's happening. It just does not seem like a good situation. And to be honest, the DeWanna Bonner situation could have had a hugely negative effect. Overall on the team. Because, let's be real, a locker room that's tight suddenly loses one of their leaders, and they could be out there playing the blame game. And I'm not saying there are locker room problems with the Indiana Fever, because I'm not, because that's not what she said. But there's a big difference between a locker room having locker room problems and a good locker room. Or a good, or even a winning locker room. There are big differences, because let's be real. I don't know if last year was a winning locker room, but there was vibes. The vibes are good. The vibes do not seem to be good right now. And again, it's not like there's a big difference between the vibes not being good and there being locker room issues. And I'm not going to go as far as to say that, because saying there's locker room issues is a big, big accusation to make. But at the end of the day, this is not good. This is absolutely not good. The Indiana Fever are in a disastrous situation right now. They're in an absolutely disastrous situation. They got no side. I don't understand how you can be small and slow as a team. Player for player, this isn't going to work. Caitlin Clark, like, plasters over all the cracks. She realistically plasters over all the cracks of this team. Like, this team is not structured well. It's not constructed well. And there's a lot of negative things. There's a lot of negative things about this team. And I have to say, it is not looking positive for them to be fixed. We can be honest here. It's not looking positive. And Sophie Cunningham coming out there and effectively saying there's a big difference between her saying there are locker room issues and her saying the locker room maybe isn't where it needs to be. But like, the fact is like, the locker room and team chemistry is an issue, or it is maybe not an issue, but isn't a strength off the floor. Like, that is a problem. How big of a problem is it? Depending on the severity of it. Like, we'll know quickly about the severity of it, realistically, because things just don't stay quiet in the WNBA. So we'll realistically know about the severity of it all pretty quickly. And with that being said, in my opinion, it's something that needs to be kind of ironed out. Because again, if it's just something minor, those minor locker room issues can be fixed very quickly. They can be fixed super, super quickly. However, if it's not minor, then again, like, I'm getting very close to just writing off the season. And I think we are realistically as a whole getting very close to just writing off the season. And that would be a fair enough thing to just write off the season at this stage, if we're being honest. Like, it's just not all around a good situation. But yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think I'm reading too much into this? She's been 100% right, except for one huge problem: the locker room isn't together. And like, the worst part is that if teams are gunning for you, teams are gunning to beat you, and you're not 100% together, and you're not in an us versus them mentality. And Christy Sides, a lot of people are joking about how Christy Sides was the best coach because there was a common enemy. They all hated her. They all hated Christy Sides. So there was a common enemy, and they all bonded over their common enemy, the coach. But now this year they like Stephanie White, so there's no common enemy. You never know. You never know. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.